happen in this round, in case of Al Wahda wins, if Al Wahda wins tonight against Al Ain, eventually Shabab Al Ahly can be first after this round. And this was unthinkable weeks ago. And this is one of the main aspects, I think, of the ADNOC Pro League, is the fact that things can change at any moment. So more important, between these two, more important for Wahda, but there's the third element in the room.
And coming into this, Ibrahim, thinking about the mental build-up to the kickoff, for Al Ain in particular, we'll get to Al Wahda in a second, but for Al Ain, they come into this on a great run of form, unbeaten in the league, the same manager that they've had for a while, which is, you know, a bit of a rarity in modern football as well. Their star striker is scoring more goals than everybody else, as he has done for previous seasons. Things look really good for Al Ain.
Definitely important for them, because if you take the statistic for the last 4 games, Al Wahda won them. And Al Ain, they know how important it is for them to win that game, because most the 3 games that were played in Al bin Zayed Stadium, Al Wahda won them. Somehow, the last 3 years, Al Wahda is different. It's not the same Al Wahda we are seeing. They have, they know how to start the games. They come with a lot of confidence. And I know Coach Ivic, he knows the strength and the weaknesses of Al Wahda also. So he will try to put in place a team that can really stop them. Because if you take, for example, the performance that Krebin did last week against Benias, 3 goals, he's in great form. Not only him, Facundo, Diarra, I can name more, Tadic. They have a great team. So I feel like it will not be easy for Al Ain today, but they know how important it is for them to win tonight.
It's talked about some great players that Al Wahda have. Of course, they've added to their squad. It's almost as if the Al Nayan Stadium has been listening to you and Ibrahim over the last few weeks. You've been saying Al Wahda need a striker.
We must be careful with what we wish.
They've certainly bought one, haven't they? Christian Benteke, world-famous striker. This is his debut tonight as well. How does he fit into this? You've been asking for this, so how is it going to work?
It can be a game changer for Wahda, even though, very honestly, I was not expecting him to start tonight, very honestly. But it can be a game changer. We spoke about this, me and Ibrahim, many times during our shows. Al Wahda has a great front line. Let us not make any mistake about that. The players' quality up front, and Ibrahim mentioned all of them, and even Kharbin, not a typical striker, has been scoring lots of goals.
Yeah.
But Benteke brings a different style of approach in terms of the offensive play for Wahda. He's a target man. He's that traditional number 9 to hold up, to flick, for the aerial play, where Al Wahda many times have been struggling over this period in this beginning of the season. So he will bring all that, and instead of a game more in the ground and a passing game more through the ground, might invite Al Wahda to pump crosses into the box from wide areas, and that will be a different challenge for Al Ain also, that probably they were not expecting right from the start tonight.
You talk about, I mean, it's easy enough to say Al Wahda needed a striker, but there's so many different types of striker. Is Benteke the type of striker that Al Wahda were looking for?
Yes, he has the quality, and that's exactly what we were speaking about. And but the thing that I'm a bit worried about is the timing. As Pedro mentioned, just when he came to just put him in the game, you can kind of put him in the situation where if he doesn't make a great game, people start to criticize already. But I feel like the quality that Benteke has, this is what Al Wahda needed. It will create, it will give more volume to the offensive line of Al Wahda. And sometimes also I forget Caio Canedo, because sometimes they can use him as a striker. He had a great history in the country. He did a great career also. So I think Benteke coming there will definitely give that boost in the offensive line of Al Wahda.
Like you say, Pedro, having Benteke come straight in, we know he's used to the big occasion. Look at his fabulous career. He's come straight into a big Abu Dhabi derby in the cauldron of the Hazard bin Zayed Stadium. But Al Ain have also got a debutant starting tonight in one of the big matches of the season as well. So they're not kind of soft-footing them into the ADNOC Pro League, are they? They're throwing them in on the biggest stage possible.
Yeah, and it's a midfielder. So we will play Adrian Sut, 26-year-old Romanian international midfielder, mostly a bit more defensive, central midfielder with slightly more defensive characteristics. I believe Alain has signed him to replace Park, who unfortunately has been injured for a long time and will continue to be out for a long time. So he will bring more stability to the midfield. He will protect better the defensive line, will be eventually a more positional midfielder there, because Alain also has interesting players in that area of the pitch, mostly Traoré doing a very good season, always the help of Palacios, even though a few meters ahead of him. But they did not have, since Park's absence, they did not have that more holding midfielder who can provide balance and protect more and better the defense, to allow Alain to evolve also out wide through the flanks and in the middle through the likes of Kako, Rahimi, and mostly, of course, Slava.
Yeah, and I guess as well, the reverse side of that is, with Benteke coming in, does that change the way that Al Wahda will play the game? They're obviously having a good season. You know, we're talking about them in the title race. A win tonight, they're just 2 points off the top. So they're having an excellent season. But does the arrival of a figure like Benteke naturally have to change the way that they play the game?
You know, Graham, the fact that there is a new coach Dimash took over, that's one side. Also, Benteke coming in, two people are coming into the team. So I hope Coach Dimash will be able to understand how he will use properly Benteke, because when you have next to you, for example, Facundo and Tadic, Carbin, and they have quality players. So it will be, and Benteke is the type of striker who is a finisher. He's not the type of striker who will come into the midfield to play. Just go on the side, make the cross, he will do his job. So, and Al Wahda has the player for that. Carbin is the one who was sometimes coming into the midfield, so he will not have to do that anymore. He will be more like coming to receive the ball, then try to find Benteke in front. And Al Wahda, they have the quality for that. And Alain really need to be careful, because if you take the game of last week against Dafra, it was the really tight game. They won the game in the last minute 82, and but we saw in Dafra that were very well organized. Alain were somehow in some difficulties. But the attack of Al Dafra compared to the attack of Al Wahda is completely different.
Yeah.
They have more quality, they're more organized, and as I say, Carbin being in great form, it can be a big trouble for Alain tonight.
It must say something of the management at Al Wahda that Benteke is starting. He's been playing in the MLS, which finished October time, so he hasn't really had any competitive football for a good couple of months. They must have seen enough to think, one of the biggest games of the season, he's going to go and start.
Yeah, probably. And then we need to think also, I believe, from the strategical point of view, and also in the fact that Al Wahda trying to balance the aerial ability of Alain, because Benteke also brings that aerial power, which Al Wahda does not have as much as Alain, clearly. Alain has 6 headers in the league, 6 headed goals in the league. Al Wahda only has 1. So in comparison between these two sides, Alain is a lot more dominant team in the aerial space, and Benteke levels a little bit more that, and even more in the absence of Lucas Pimenta, Al Zahir, many important players absent on the Al Wahda side. So I think we can also look at that set pieces.
Yeah.
Look at that strategical part of the game, having in mind also that Al Wahda coach is Portuguese.
Not only that, not only that. Also, I feel like it will be very important for the players to now be able to arrive in the box, because Benteke is the type of player who can keep the ball to give the time for the midfielder to arrive, and that may be an advantage for Al Wahda also.
Let me ask you another question, Ibrahim. As a striker, when you're scoring lots of goals, and then the club buys another striker, how does that make you feel?
Yeah, definitely it's not it's not easy, because you come into the competition with the new striker that they will bring. So, but if you know what is your task and how you are ready to fight for the club, you just have to kind of unite with that player, understand each other for the best of the club. So, of course, you will not feel great, but if he's bringing his quality to help the team, why not?
Mostly because he was going to sit on the bench, so he will not feel great.
Yeah.
And also, I guess, Omar Kurbin, before he became the main striker, this was his role, was tucking behind another striker, so he might feel more comfortable with that. Let's talk a little bit about the other debutant then, a bit more about Shot. Tell us more about what he brings to Alain. What have Alain been missing that he now brings to them?
I think more physical capacity, more balance. I don't know him as well as I know Benteke, of course, different careers. But from what I could understand coming into this match, is good characteristics in terms of positioning, passing. So he will bring that kind of stability in the midfield for Alain. Not that Alain was not doing well defensively, especially if we compare with previous seasons. They are doing much better. But they did not have those characteristics. The other players they have to play in that position are 6/8s, are players who can defend but also can transition. And this player is a player that can sit a little bit more there, close to the defensive line, and screen, protect the defensive line to allow the other midfielders to don't look back as much and be more free to play up front.
Let's take a look at the lineup then for Alain, Ibrahim, and see where he slots into matters. It's also quite interesting the other changes that Vladimir Ivic has had to make with the lineup for Alain tonight. Soufiane Rahimi is one player who is absent. He's away on international duty. That's another big miss for Alain. If we look at the lineup as soon as we can, what else have they had to change? There's a couple of other players that are missing, injured, suspended. So Ivic has had to shuffle a few things around.
Yeah, definitely. One of the strengths of Alain is from the build-up to take the ball out. And this is where I agree with Pedro. When bringing in Adrian into the midfield will be more easy for them because he has that ability and the quality to move the ball in the midfield. And, I can see that it's almost the same team like before. But we will see a lot of movement from Kaku coming into the midfield, receiving the ball and try to feed Laba in the front line. Mohamed Abbas will be the one who will be doing sometimes box-to-box, and Palacios will be the one supporting, arriving sometime as close to the box for the finishing. And of course, defensively, I think it's a really solid defense, but I'm a bit worried because when I saw the game against Dafra last week, they did a couple of mistakes that could have cost Alain. But I think if they're more focused and they have a great concentration, it could be a great game for them tonight.
I wonder also if, for example, in this case, because previously Al-Wahda was playing with 4 men in the front, let us call them 4 front men, even though 2 of them were wingers and they would drop back. But 4 men with mostly with mobility that would swap positions, etc. And now Al-Wahda has a striker up front, a target man. And I wonder how the defensive line of Alain will react to that. If they will assign one of the central defenders for a man marking strategy defensively, or if they will play zonal. This is, for me, very intriguing to understand throughout the match.
And last thing I would like to add also, of course, Bandar Ababi, it was very important for Alain, with his on the right flank, a lot of offensive actions and making some great crosses for Laba. Probably they'll be missing that. And Alain always also played with wings, fast wings. So lately, we're not seeing that much because Kaku is not that fast. Technically, he's comfortable. Yeah. So he's the kind of player who can always in the midfield and try to play. But we are missing the fast wing of Alain used to have before. I feel, as Pedro said, defensively, probably Coach Dimash will try to close the wings, to try to close also the midfield, not to give enough space because if you give space to Kaku, he can make the difference.
Yeah. You talk about missing as well. We look at Al-Wahda's lineup. They're missing their defensive pairing, which is really crucial. We're talking about the additions to Al-Wahda's squad tonight, but missing Pimenta and Al-Aldin Zahir as well, who have been a real partnership for a couple of seasons now. That is a massive loss, isn't it? Here's the lineup. Pedro?
Yeah, it's a massive blow, for example, in comparison with Alain. Alain is missing Soufiane Rahimi, a star player, but Soufiane Rahimi this season, for different reasons, has not been playing much. And Alain is doing great, even though he's not playing much. Now imagine if he was playing, or when he comes back. On the Al-Wahda side, of course, there's still Sazajevkovic there to assure the back line, the experience in the back line, the leadership of that back line. The inclusion of Badr Nasser instead of Ruben is also something curious. I was not expecting, because usually it's Ruben doing that left back position. Tonight is different. But mostly how things will unfold. When I look at the front line, Benteke for sure in the middle, and then the other three behind him, I'm not very sure where they will be exactly playing. Probably it will go down like this, or every now and then Dusan Tadic opening wide right and Karbin just behind Benteke. Even Facundo can play in any of those three positions. It will be interesting also to understand how will Al Wahda play, and if they will continue with the same strategy throughout the match, or if they will start swapping the players as we go to provide different challenges. Facundo Krupski a little bit more vertical than the other two. Dusan Tadic, great on the assists, and Omar Harbin, great all around. Assists, goals, everything.
One last thing I would like to add, coming back to the question you asked me, when the new player come into the team, how they feeling? I'm a bit, I hope, Facundo, Tadic and Omar Krebin will really play for Benteke, because sometimes already Omar Krebin has 9 goals. He has his pride. He wants to get back to the first. He want to get to the first position. So I hope that the three, they will understand each other. We use their quality to feed a lot Benteke, because Benteke is a finisher. He's a big asset for Al Wahda. I don't want the star to feel like, oh, I will be the superstar.
Yeah.
I will be the one who can provide the victory for Al Wahda. They need to play together, the four of them. If they do that, I think they will be unstoppable.
Yeah, it very much needs to be the team effort tonight, doesn't it? Instead of the superstar coming in and taking... He's going to take the headlines, but, yeah, everybody has to play their role. Watching them over the past season and seasons before that, they are very much a team, if you know what I mean.
No, definitely. Very solid, very compact. And as getting back to your first question of the night, for Al Wahda, this is like a final. It's a very important match for Al Ain, no doubt.
For Al Ain too.
But but very important for Al Ain, but it's a final for Wahda. Because even if Al Ain loses, there's still 13 rounds ahead to correct. But for Al Wahda, if they lose tonight, 8 points with 13 rounds to play, of course, mathematically it's still possible, but it starts
don't
to
forget,
get
when
complicated.
Al Ain is on the top, they never leave it.
Yeah, you said that many times, once they're on the top. But, you know, we're looking at the stats as well, and Amy said it in her piece to camera from the Hazza bin Zayed Stadium. The last 2 results have gone Al Wahda's way, and the last one was at the Hazza bin Zayed Stadium as well. That's got to play into the thinking.
Yeah, history. We all come up with these numbers when we come down to these matches, but in the end of the day, I think when the team step up to play a match like this, they forget about the past. Like, if not from the start, like within 30 seconds, the past is the past. Because the match is so tense, it's so important. And in a beautiful stadium, fully packed apparently, with a great atmosphere, the teams forget about the past, and Al Ain does not care about losing before, Al Wahda does not care about winning before. They will care about winning tonight, both of them, and that is something I'm pretty much sure about it. Regardless of the strategies, the tactics, and anything else, I think both teams will try to go for the kill, to go for the win in this case.
We're also going to need to talk about the managerial camps of both clubs. Very different situations coming into this game. Before we do, let's hear from both head coaches.
Derby game, home game. We want to continue our winning serial that we did in the past, in the previous games. Know that it's very, very important game for all of us, and we prepare ourselves in the previous days for a tough game. Believe that my players understand that we must be focused from first second until the last second to give our maximum and to see what's going to happen to the end. Thank you.
Good afternoon. One big game. We are ready. We want to take the 3 points. We will do our best, make Al Wahda fans happy tonight, and we are more than prepared. Thank you.
Well, he's smiling, isn't he, Dimas? But it's a bit of a weird situation at Al Wahda at the moment. He's doing a terrific job standing in since Jose Moraes left to go to Sharjah, but it's a slight bit of uncertainty in the coaching department of Al Wahda at the moment.
It's the football world nowadays. It's in the UAE, at Al Wahda, in the UAE, everywhere. It's like this. A coach's job is never certain. He relies a lot on results. Of course, Dimas, being before the assistant for José Moraes, picked up in a situation that on one side is complicated, but on the other side, he knew already the team and the mechanisms behind the team, so he can carry forward. And I believe he is carrying forward most of the work that was done before, also by himself.
Yeah.
And now with this winter transfer window, with the capacity and the expectations to do some changes, some addings to the team, not many, honestly. I think Al Wahda has a very good squad this season. I think with the inclusion of Benteke, that was, I would say, the main problem
Which
they
he
had.
would have been involved in those negotiations to bring him over.
Eventually, it was something that was being requested, because Reza Gandipur, who was brought in the other transfer window, was already hinting that also internally they were feeling like they lacked an attacker with those characteristics, despite the fact that they have other attackers, amazing attackers, but not with those characteristics to play inside the box, to be a target man, with that traditional line.
On the other side of the coin, for Alain, Ibrahim Vladimir Ivic, he doesn't give much away, does he? His emotions, he doesn't wear them on his sleeve, but he's a steady pair of hands. He's been at Alain now for a long time in footballing terms, and he's just quietly goes about his job, doesn't he? Obviously not quiet behind the scenes, but in terms of the public, he's just quietly doing his job as head coach.
It's visible that he's an ambitious coach, and he has a lot of targets, because managing a club like Alain is not easy. It's very difficult. You have a lot of challenges, and you have to be ready for every challenge. So I could see that he say one word that is very important. He say focus, especially in this type of games, the derbies. The focus should be 100%, because if you make any small mistake, it will cost you. So I think the coach, if he knows how important it is for him to, is his first derby this season, so he's looking for that win, and probably he will put the right team. I'm sure he boosts the confidence of the players by motivating them, talking to them in the changing room to be very well organized, because if you give enough space to Al Wahda players, they can make the difference. Tadic, Krebin, and Facundo. Now on top of that, Benteke, it's not easy. It will be a difficult game, but Ivic, I'm sure he put in place already the team, mentally and physically ready for that game.
As a slight aside, just in terms of the entertainment value we should expect tonight, these are also cup finalists as well this season, these two teams.
ADIB Cup, yeah. They are doing a very good season, both of them. I was honestly, and I said this before in our shows, I was not expecting Alain to start this well, because of the fact that they basically had one season tied up in the other, but they are doing very well. I credit a lot on the continuity of the coach, who's doing a great job. Now in February, he'll be 1 year in charge of the team. And the fact that the management of Alain understood that they needed to reinforce the defensive line. They needed to bring more defenders and more experienced defenders. They did that, and the result is clear, because for you to win the league, Alain has goals up front. I mean, with the likes of Lava, Kako, even Sofiane Rahimi not playing, and they are doing so well, imagine. They have goals up front. They can score goals against anyone. But to win the league, you need to be solid defensively. And over the last couple of seasons, at least as far as I can remember, Alain was not doing well defensively, was actually doing very bad for a team of the history of Alain and dimension of the club in this country. Defensively, they were struggling for several different reasons. And they sorted that out, and now they are getting the fruits of that, of those good decisions.
But the one thing also I would like to mention, the adaptation for Al Wahda, because now they will not play same like they used to play now, since the arrival of Benteke. So the dynamic might change, because before they used to have this combination between each other, Tadic, Krebin, and Facundo moving between each other. Sometimes one go forward, another one come into the. So now that you have a specific striker in the front line, I don't know how they will feel and how they will manage, how they will control that. So that is very important to mention also. But probably tonight, Coach Dimash will see and will understand now, okay, how he can really put the players for the next challenges.
Well, we were talking before we came on air, weren't we, that we're expecting a lot more crosses to come in from Al Wahda, which, I mean, they were crossing the ball before, obviously, but now very much that is the mission.
That's what I mean.
With this.
Yeah, but before a lot of whipped crosses, low crosses, because if they were going for the aerial play, nobody was there to challenge for the aerial duels, unless it was a set piece and the central defenders would move forward. Saza Ivkovic, for example, is a specialist. And again, because one of the things I think, as always, can define these types of matches are the details and the set pieces. And I think that eventually we can see also the match getting broken from the start. Maybe not. Maybe it can get cagey and tactical, or maybe it can be broken from the start. Both teams trying to attack and leaving space in the middle of the pitch. This is also something that I'm intrigued with to understand.
Well, that's what I was going to say, actually. With the arrival of Benteke, it does mean that Facundo and Cribin might have more space, because they'll be so worried about marking Benteke, they might find themselves with a bit more space than they would normally have, those two.
Definitely, but they've been playing almost 12 games in a different way. That's what I was trying to mention. So they need to adapt now to the new way of playing, because if you are sometimes switching position and now the coach is telling you stay in that specific position, sometimes it might make you feel uncomfortable. That's what I'm willing to see tonight, if they will be really able to respect that, because it's not easy. Coach Dimash is just took the team in now, so you need to know. But they have one option though, because I think which is not a bad option. Diarra is still on the bench. He's the type of player who can go 1v1 and go for the crosses.
Yeah.
So which he puts that he put him on the bench for the moment, but in second half, in case that formula is not working, then Diarra can come in to make the crosses.
Is this also a statement in the mind games between head coaches, putting Benteke in straight from the beginning, not bringing him off the bench in the second half, having him start the game tonight? Is that a little bit of mind games from the Al Wahda boss to the Al-Ain side of things, saying, watch out, we've got a real...
I think it's more for the Wahda players, actually.
Oh, really?
Like, we really want to win this match from the start.
Yeah.
We are going to play with all cards, even because I think in the end, I totally understand and agree with what Ibrahim is saying. The chemistry might not be there yet today. That's why I was saying from the beginning, I find it a little bit unexpected for him to start. On the other hand, honestly, going forward, if not from tonight, but going forward, I think Al Wahda will benefit a lot with a player of these characteristics and, by the way, quality, to play up front as a striker, because not of the goals he might score, but also what he will provide to the team in terms of his characteristics of holding up and allowing these players who will play behind him, these three players, whomever they are, because we have three players. We could have Diarra, we could have Caio Canedo, and we could have Arnaud Pradas. They have those players. I think all of these players, regardless of who plays behind Benteke, will benefit from him up front, because he will be the reference for the markings and will leave them more free to do whatever they want to do behind him in terms of the assists, of goals, crosses, everything.
And they must have seen enough on the training ground building up to this match to make this decision quite easy for Dimash to put Benteke straight in. Maybe the chemistry, he's already seen it on the training ground over the last few days.
Yeah, of course. Before bringing him to the club, of course, he knows what Benteke is able to do. He has the quality, he has experience, world-class striker. So. And as I say, the dynamic might change, that's for sure, because the volume he will bring in front, it might help Al Wahda to score more goals, or it might be difficult to understand each other, but with the experience that they have, Tadic, Krebin and Facundo, I don't think it will be difficult.
Last thoughts then before we hand over to our commentator in the Hazard bin Zayed Stadium, Pedro. Don't have to give me a prediction, but what kind of match are we going to see? It's going to be a goal frenzy, surely.
I hope so. I hope so. And yeah, we have all the ingredients, all the players to do that. I think more than respecting each other, for sure they both respect each other, they really want to win the match. Because for Al-Ain it will close a little bit the door on Wahda, and for Wahda will opened the door completely in terms of their title race.
Ibrahim, last words to you.
Beautiful derby and great teams, quality player from both sides. It's an open game, so it's very difficult to give prediction. But as I said before, if you take the last 4 games, Al-Ain, Al-Wahda won 3 times in Hazard bin Zayed Stadium. So it's an open game, and I'm sure Al-Ain, they want to react. They want to show that we have our pride, we are the boss of the league. So they will probably fight for the victory today.
Okay, thank you very much, gentlemen. As you can see and hear, it is a packed Hazard bin Zayed Stadium for one of the big games of the season. As Pedro says, these two teams will meet in the ADIB Cup final later in the season, but perhaps is this just as important? If Al-Ain win, they go clear again at the top. If Al-Wahda win, they are right back in the title hunt. Let's cross over to the Hazard bin Zayed Stadium. Your commentator, Ian Burstow.
Clement Turpin, hugely experienced referee from France, took charge of the 2021 Europa final versus Villarreal and Manchester United. Of course, finished 1-1 and then went to penalties. An astonishing 11-10 win to Villarreal. As we all unite as one here in the Hazard bin Zayed Stadium. Both sets of teams ready. A proud nation, a proud footballing history. And we are proud to bring this game to you here this evening. So the formalities nearly done as the war cry goes around the stadium. Everybody in the stadium on their feet. As the national anthem rings true. A wonderful moment. Two very, very strong substitute benches. A few names missing, of course. Elaine especially. Youngwoo Park is still out with that cruciate ligament tear. Soufiane Rahimi and Rami Rabia are away on international duty. And Kwame has been left out for technical reasons. So big decisions made by Vladimir Ivic. So it will be Elaine with the kickoff, playing from right to left in the pink. And they are underway here at the Hazza bin Zayed Stadium. The Classico starts. All eyes, of course, will be on the new debutants, Benteke for Al Wahda and Soot for Elaine. Here come Elaine now into the box. An opportunity early here. Pulls it back in the shot and just unable to get his foot through it. Just scuffed the opportunity in the end. Palacios, who's scored a couple of excellent goals this season. Ball hit long, looking for Benteke, but not far enough. Elaine win the ball back. That will be the first free kick of the evening. And you can see what it means to those players already. Trying to get those fans going, get them on their side. There's room on this left-hand side. Palacios dispossessed, but Elaine win the ball back. And it's frantic down there at the moment. There's no room to breathe. Both sets of teams pressing hard, not allowing either team to settle. In towards Laba. Kaku just can't find a way through. Kaku felt it was his ball, but the referee thought otherwise. So it will be an Al Wahda throw in, and there is the man in charge, Dinias Texiera. Looks like Benteke there has taken a knock to the face, his first involvement in the Classico. Former Liverpool player back on his feet. Playing his football last season with DC United. He swapped that for the United Arab Emirates. And here with Al Wahda. Clip long down the left-hand channel, but gets that all wrong, and the ball turned over again straight to Elaine, and Al Wahda need to keep hold of the ball. Khaled Issa under pressure. Just slightly overhit for Laba, and easily cleared in the end by Ogbu. Going into this game after 2 straight wins, that 1-0 win against Sharjah, and then last week the 2-1 win against Al Dhafra. Al Wahda comfortably beating Banyas 3-0, and then the rearranged game, the 1-1 against Sharjah. Looking for Laba. Ogbu. Anywhere will do for him and Al Wahda at the moment. Yang under pressure. Loses out again. Referee will blow the whistle. Traore, in fact, that was caught in that right-back position, just didn't really do enough. In the end, Tadic just getting a little bit too physical for the referee's liking. forward, looking for Rafa. Does well, wins his own header. Palacios into Laba. Flag stays down. The curse of the commentator. Just as I said that, assistant referee put his flag up. Towards Benteke, does get the header on. Kerbin. He's dispossessed by Traore. Excellent work again from the midfielder, doing his defensive work. No one around to pick up the second ball from Laba. Kaku puts pressure on Al Shamsi, but he does well again, looking for Benteke, and it's a clear tactic for Al Wahda at the moment. Get the ball as quickly as they can forward towards Benteke. Excellent work in the end from Rafa. Just getting there in front of Guga. Forced all the way back again. Again, that's looking for that central ball towards Benteke, but the execution from Mohamed Al Shamsi is not good enough. But they've won the ball back again. They wanted the free kick. Al Wahda not given a chance here for a counter-attack, and for a second just a bit of miscommunication between Ogbu and Al Shamsi. In the end, he took charge. Khalek keeps the ball moving. Khaled Issa getting jeered every time he gets the ball from those Al Wahda fans. Here's Omar. Matic comes across and again put under pressure. So it's a good press from Al Wahda, making it difficult. Slovenians just struggle to find any room. Here's Soot. His first real involvement. Referee happy to allow play to continue. Alain with Laba on this left-hand side. Palacios has made the run forward down the middle. Laba can't find him. They win the ball back again, Alain. No real pressure. Soot keeps the ball moving. Ball over the top, looking for Palacios. Palacios continues in towards Laba. Laba puts it in the back of the net. They all look across. The flag has stayed down. Muted celebrations for Alain. They think they were offside. Al Wahda think they were offside. But the assistant referee says otherwise. His flag has stayed down, and the goal at the moment will count. Excellent work from Palacios. Wonderful delivery across. Laba still had a lot to do. $14 goals for him. We'll see here from the replay. It's very tight. Was Guga in the middle of the picture playing Palacios onside? No question about Laba. Still had a lot to do. An excellent finish. 6 previous games he's failed to score against Al Wahda. Over 1,000 days. But he's broken that curse now. Al Shamsi had no chance. There is going to be a check here. but it looked like Guga played Palacios onside. Wonderful finish from Benteke, from Kojo Leba. And the goal stands. Excellent work from the assistant referee. So, first blood to Alain. It's only taken 9 minutes. And here's the number 9, Kojo Leba. Everybody, including myself, just expected the assistant referee's flag to go up, and it didn't. And a sloppy ball from Al Shamsi. Ogbu. Back to Al Shamsi. Laba puts pressure. Ball forward, looking for Benteke. Again, execution not good enough. Suk picks up the loose ball. That is a late tackle, and it will be a card. And it will go to former Portuguese under-21, Rafa. Just coming in late. And his fellow countryman Guga. So a yellow card for Rafa. Ogbu pushes out towards Abdelaziz. Ball pumped forward again, looking for Benteke, but delivery just hasn't been on point at the moment. And as we thought, Benteke, the lone striker, as that ball comes through, and Khalid Issa had to be on his toes, and he was. Benteke playing up front on his own with Kerbin and Dusan Tadic just playing in behind him. That was a loose pass from Sut, but they get away with it. Alain keep the ball moving. Room on this right-hand side. Abbas continues his run, but won't get there in time. Another long ball, Palacios again, all eyes on the assistant referee, Palacios. He's got a bit more to do this time. Laba crying out for it at the back post. Palacios does win the corner. In fact, as I say that, it's gone against Palacios, and it will be a goal kick. But again, and you can see clearly Palacios just getting his run. Absolutely spot on. And it was Guga in the middle of the pitch, just playing him on side. 14 for him. Ball flicked on over the top. Rafa does well under pressure. Flick will be kept in. Guga up against Ratnik, and it's a strong tackle. In fact, it was Ben Kalik come flying in. He had to get it right, the Moroccan. He did just about. And the decision has been overturned, so it will be a goal kick. So everything going Alain's way at the moment. Rafa. Again, execution not quite on point as Dimas looks on. Disappointing start for his team so far. Drilled in again, looking for Benteke. Does well to bring it down first time. And can't find a way past, and the lane player just felt that Benteke may have gone down a little bit easily. Just let him know that play continues. Here is Benteke. He said does exceptionally well. That wouldn't have counted. The flag has gone up. Isa is transfixed on the ball. Comes up from the former Belgian international. Rafa. Palacios just lays that ball off, and chance here again. The 1-2 with Alaba, and they move the ball well, Alain. Here's Alaba attacking the ball. Excellent covering work again by Ikovic. Laba up against Ogbu. Does well, Laba. Kaku back to Laba again. A real battle going on between those two. Yang lifts it in towards Laba at the back post. Scrappy defending by Al-Wada, but they do just enough. Just not getting back on side in time. There's a fascinating battle going on between him and Favia Ogbu, Nigerian, only 20 years of age. Kalik. Palacios again, just looks to break that offside trap but can't get on the end of it. Ikovic, once it's short, does get it. Room on this right-hand side, Guga. Eventually gets it. Ikovic. Oh, looking for Omar. Jepson. Ogbu. Benteke makes the run down the middle, but ball overhit. It will be picked up. Guga will have a chance here to deliver. Not a good ball in. No way through for Tadic. Clipped in for Benteke. Some pushing and shoving going on between him and Benkalik. And you can see Christian Benteke just gesturing to the referee, having his shirt pulled. He needs to be careful, the Moroccan. Alain at the top. They are at the moment, and that's where they will want to stay. '21-22 was the last time they were crowned ADNOC Pro League champions. Jepson keeps the ball moving. Room on this left-hand side. Patient build-up from Al-Wada. Run from Omar comes now. Just got caught underneath the ball, wasn't quite sure where it was. Brazilian just flighting that ball in towards Omar Kurbin. Issa. No real pressure from Al-Wada, was able to get it out of a difficult position quite comfortably. The referee not happy with that challenge. The Lane fans feel that Facundo perhaps went down a little bit too easily. And the win predictor in favour of Elaine at the moment, 66%. We still have a long way to go. Only 20 minutes gone here at the Hazard bin Zayed Stadium. Benteke, no one around to pick up the second ball. So important for Al-Wada. That's their tactic here this evening, to pump the ball long into Benteke. He's going to win the vast majority of them, but they need to get players in and around him. At the moment, that's just not happening. Likes to hold the ball up, likes to play that target man, physical centre forward, but needs support around him. Omar. Guga. He's got bodies to aim at in the box. Benteke does get his head to it, but can't find it. Just can't quite find the direction. Goes past the far post. It was a decent ball in. Benteke did well. Just unable to direct it goalwards. Now Issa looks to go long towards Laba. Laba does well under pressure. Palacios loses out. Ogbu. Al-Ain undefeated in their last 5 games, 3 wins, 2 draws. Al-Wada, 2 wins, 2 draws and a loss. That loss coming to Al Wassel 1-0. Again, pump forward, asking a lot of the centre forward. Ball intercepted and one back. Here's Omar. Does well to keep possession. Benteke muscled off the ball by Mohamed Abbas. Slight mismatch in size there, but Mohamed Abbas came off the better in that situation. Pump forward again. How many times have we said that in the first 23 minutes? You just feel that perhaps Al-Wada just need to mix it up a little bit. It's a little bit predictable at the moment. And yes, Benteke is winning the majority of the balls that are fired into him. There's no one around to pick up the second ball. Ogbu pumps that ball forward. Omar. Palacios. He continues his run. Laba just forced back. Here's Soot. Just overhits that, and Rafa unable to keep it in play. A thumbs up from Vladimir Ivic. Chances have been few and far between the last 5 minutes or so. Soot didn't really help out Mohamed Abbas there. Abbas is trying to cover every blade of grass at the moment, and Facundo is the man who feels his wrath this time, just coming over the top and catching the wide player. So over the halfway mark now. It is Al-Ain 1, that goal from Kojo Labra after 9 minutes. And apart from that, both goalkeepers have been relatively quiet. Chance here for Kerr. Benteke goes down under pressure. Referee has a look but waves it away. He can't believe it. And now, what a players surround the referee. It's not the first time that Benteke has gone down under pressure. Has been pushing and shoving, going on all evening. Well, there's this pull. Rafa claiming he was pushed initially. It looks like the referee has been asked to come over and look at the screen. Eric Vatla, the man in charge, has suggested that Clement Turpin comes and have a look here. Well, from our replay, it was quite clear that Rafa Rodriguez was pulling Benteke's shirt. Just depends what was going on moments before that. Pictures come through here. There's the pull. Was there a push from Benteke beforehand? Well, it hasn't taken long. Clement Turpin to make his decision. Penalty given. In fact, it was Ratnik, the man. And they look all innocent. Ben Kalik and Ratnik have been at it all evening with Benteke pushing and shoving. And this time, one pull too much. He receives a yellow card. And an opportunity here for Al-Wahda to get themselves back in this game. And it looks as though it's going to be Omar Kurbin against Khalid Issa. Record for Kurbin so far. Just listen to this crowd if Kurbin converts this. Scores comfortably. Issa goes the wrong way. Al-Wahda back in this game. All eyes have been on Benteke so far in this first half. But it's the man who's given everything to this club. The captain, the leader. And when there's a big moment, you need a big man. Wonderful penalty. Gave Issa the eye, sent him the wrong way. Never in doubt. all square here at the Hazard bin Zayed Stadium. So we go again. Kalik. Palacios moved onto this left-hand side. Keeps the ball moving. Opportunities to go around the outside and does do, and then drifts the ball towards the back post, and Guga had no other choice to put it behind for a corner. Perhaps had just had a little bit more time than he thought. But it's going to be Palacios and Kaku over this one. Kaku whips it in left-footed, header flicked on, and now Shamsi decides to punch, and it's drilled back in by Soot. Never could really had any control on it. Acrobatic from the goalkeeper, opted against catching. So an impact made by Benteke. It was him going to ground, his shirt being pulled. Ball sliced through, keeper comes a long way, and Issa does well. Had to get it right, Khaled Issa. Throwing goes against Awada. Tadic convinced it was his. Assistant referee thought otherwise. All of a sudden, the Al-Wata fans have come alive. A win here for them. Put them onto 28 points into third place. Just 2 points behind Al-Ain. One behind Shabab Al-Athli. Shabab Al-Athli. They play Monday night against Dibba. Here's Benteke. Ratnik makes no chances again, but finds a white shirt. Guga. Tadic. Benteke again bundled to the ground, but does get the ball to a white shirt. Facundo shot from distance and parried away from Issa. Yang back to Traore. Passing accuracy, completed passes very, very similar indeed. Neither team really been able to take control so far. Ben Kalik. Traore. Now, just happy to sit him for the moment. Kaku looks for Laba. Laba needs some support. will go on his own. It's a wonderful tackle by the Nigerian. He's had an excellent first half. Favour Ogbu. Fascinating battle between those two. The experience of Laba against the youth of Ogbu. Palacios. Shamsi, this time, safe hands. Decides to go short inside the last 10 minutes. Ogbu looks to launch it long. Traore will pick up the loose ball. Again, the jeers from the Al-Wahda fans as soon as Khalidista gets the ball. He opts to go long. It's a speculative ball, really, from Hamed. Just needed to bring it down and get the ball going again. Omar. Guga. Force wide. Omar's pass just slightly overhit. Up against Rafa. Cleared by Ratnik. Al-Wahda regained possession. Some acrobatics going on when it wasn't really needed, and Palacios tries to keep the ball in play and does do, but in the end gives the ball away, then gives away a foul, and it's frantic from both teams at the moment. Just lacking a bit of composure. Not for the first time that flighted ball in misses its target. Again, so many unforced errors from both teams. Here's Ben Khalek. He just runs into trouble. Ball given away again. Teke wrestles against Ratnik. Tadic. Can he provide that creativity, that bit of quality that's missing at the moment? Corner, Al-Wahda. Just feel that whichever team can control the midfield will win this game. Palacios and Soot for Alain. I think really Tadic is the key for Al-Wahda. The ball's whipped in towards the near post, it's flicked on. And Alain managed to come away with it, an opportunity to counter here with Kaku. Laba. His control just not good enough. Another example of an unforced error, really. Just a bit of lack of concentration. Traore coming in late. It was a nasty tackle. It was Abdelaziz taking the full force of that tackle from Abdul Traore. Referee not too sympathetic. The boss getting behind their team. Well, another hopeful Ball just pumped across field and ball given away again. It's been happened so often so far this evening. Whipped in by Tadic, looking for Benteke, just too high. Five minutes remaining in this first half. Ball given away again from Alain. Tadic. Omar up against Benkalik and then bundled to the ground by Kaku. Referee happy with it. Soot. Yang has the opportunity to open his legs down this right-hand side, but a good tackle. A bit of frustration creeping in from both sets of fans here. Oh, boot. And then a ball just pumped into midfield, picked up by Alain again. Kaku has got bodies to aim at. It's Tadic back doing his defensive work. Both teams making it difficult for themselves. Possession has been hard to come by. Ball retention has been poor from both teams as Kaku whips that ball in. Laba there, but couldn't get to it. Omar comes away but has no one in front of him and is forced back and then gives the ball away to Benkalik, who comes all the way through to Laba. Not 100% sure that ball was meant for Kojo Laba, but somehow it found him. Ended up being just slightly behind him. Kaku will get a chance again here. Palacios has come short. It is taken short. Palacios. Galadisa has time to pick his spot, and there is confirmation of that possession. Alain just edging it ever so slightly. Abbas. Palacios, and another prime example really of what's happened here this evening. No pressure on the ball whatsoever. Ratnik had the opportunity to play the ball into Palacios and overhit it. Another unforced error, and for all the possession that Alain have and Al-Wada just haven't done enough with it. Simple balls not finding the targets. It's been sloppy from both teams. Two games tomorrow, Banyas against Albertai and Sharjah against Kalba. And then we finish game week 13 on Monday. Benteke lifts that ball on, and it's a wonderful ball out towards Tadic. Two players surround him. Tadic again. Shot from distance and unable to trouble Galadisa. Jabson, not renowned for his goal scoring. He registered 2 goals in 200 appearances for Bragantino. So no surprise, unfortunately, where that ball ended up. Monday night we finish with Ajman against Al Dafra. In second place, Shabab Al-Ahli against Dibba. As we're inside the last minute now of this first half. Ball flick forward, looking for Omar. does well. Fine Tadic, referee plays the advantage. Omar continues his run into the box. Lovely turn from him, but excellent defending by Rafa. Just got himself in between the ball and Omar Kurbin. Tadic just starting to have a little bit more impact in the last 5 minutes. There's going to be 2 minutes of additional time here at the end of the first half. That will be a free kick right in front of the referee. Jabson needs to be careful, just throwing the ball away. Traore. So it's been the battle of the two centre forwards this evening so far. Kojo Laba getting his goal after 9 minutes. In the 29th minute, new signing Christian Benteke being brought down in the box. And Omar Kurbin converting that penalty to make it 1-1. Apart from that, neither goalkeepers had too much to do. Khalid Issa made an acrobatic save to his right-hand side. Here's Niang up against Abdulaziz. Now Shamsi's been relatively quiet. Goal for Al-Wadda. That ball's whipped in. Chance here from distances. Soot. Palacios whips it in, looking for Laba. Kurbin up against Soot, does well to regain possession. Fires the ball into Benteke, but Traore has him there. Excellent covering defending by the young fullback. And we're back here with Palacios. And are coming together with the two players. Referee allows play to continue. And he does stop now. It is Guga who stayed down. And amongst all that, Clement Turpin has blown his whistle for half-time. Here is that challenge on Guga, I think, just falling awkwardly as he receives treatment. Both sets of players start to make their way off. So at the end of the first half here, it has finished. Al-Ain 1, that goal from Kojo Laba after 9 minutes, his 14th. And then Omar Kurbin after 29 from the penalty spot to bring things back equal. So at the Hazard bin Zayed Stadium at half-time, it is Al-Ain 1, Al-Wadda 1. And we shall see you very shortly for the second half.
So 1-1 it is after the first half of the Hazard bin Zayed Stadium. Laba getting his 14th of the season on 9 minutes in front of those ecstatic home fans after perhaps a bit of a mix-up, lack of communication at the back there for Al-Wadda. But their brand new big signing, Christian Benteke, getting straight into the thick of the action, winning a penalty after 29 minutes, which wasn't taken by Benteke, it was taken by Omar Kurbin, and he got his 10th of the season, got himself into double figures with a beautifully taken penalty. And Al-Wadda, as the game wore on, got more into it, and you can see there the passion already Benteke has for his new club. And that is where we are at. First half then had all the passion we were expecting, didn't it? And the first goal, Pedro, really, we were talking as we were watching it, was there a bit of communication trouble at the back there for Al-Wadda early on, which Al-Ain took a bit of advantage of?
Because Al-Wadda was using a lot or apparently trying to use a lot the offside trap strategy, and the communication was not there, so the back line was not in sync, was not very well synchronized, in the goal in that case was the right back Guga. In the beginning of the when the pass came through, he was putting I think Palacios on side, and that made the difference. I think Alain started better, and then Al-Wahda started to play. So it was like a first half of two halves, if you want, with Alain starting better and Al-Wahda finishing better.
We sort of expected Alain to come out of the blocks really fast, which they did. And we have to remember that Alain, a different pairing, Al-Wahda, a different pairing at the back. Pimenta and Ella Zuhir both out through injury. So Alain took advantage of that, didn't they, for their opening goal?
To be honest, Graham, I didn't think the game would be that open from the beginning, because obviously both teams respect each other. And the coaches, of course, are looking for great results, but at the same time, they don't want to lose. I thought that it would be like both teams will be reserve a bit and stay in the back and block until the action comes. But I see an open game, very good first half, and probably in second half we will see more also, and a really good level from both sides. And you can see that both teams are looking for that win. So great. But coming back to what Pedro said regarding the goal, I think this type of mistake, this is where it requires a lot of focus, because miscommunication between the players, and then the first goal came, and I mean, it's Laba. This kind of action he cannot miss, and yeah, exactly here on that action. If you don't communicate perfectly, it can cost you. And Laba is the type of striker. If you give him space and time, he will score. And I think between Sasa and Gago, they didn't communicate, and it's important to communicate.
I think it was interesting though that Laba didn't really celebrate the goal. I think it was in uncertainty amongst the Alain players as well, whether there was an offside there or not.
Yeah, nowadays, whenever there is a slight doubt, we need to wait for the final decision. In this case, when he finishes, for sure, he's in a legal position. But before the pass, we can see by the footage that it was in a legal position, was onside. But of course, they on the pitch is too fast to understand that. But it was well drilled for Alain, getting that ball into the box.
Yeah.
I think that Alain somehow puzzled Al-Wahda in the beginning of the match, and then halfway through the first half, it was the other way around. It was mostly Al-Wahda puzzling a little bit Alain, mostly with the usage of Benteke. They used him in a very good way in this first half.
Well, let's talk a bit about Benteke. 20 minutes after that goal for Alain, he was instrumental in getting the equaliser. And as we had been predicting, there were crosses starting to come in, and he was making himself known in the penalty area, and he made himself really known by winning the penalty.
For his first game already, I can say that he started very well, because you can see that he can protect the ball, hold the ball in the air. He could jump, but the players around him, they need to come closer, because he has the capability of protecting that ball, giving the time of the midfielder to arrive. Facundo, Krebin, and Tadic, they need to push more. You could see one moment, he was even asking them to get closer, because he knows that what he's able to do, and definitely he's bringing that power in the offensive line of Al-Wahda.
And they haven't had a player who's like on the penalty spot like that when balls are coming in for quite a while.
Yeah, and we can see the difference in just 45 minutes, what he did. Now, I have questions if you will be able to play the whole 90 minutes. That's one question. And how will Alain cope with him in the second half? I think they need to cut the supply line, mostly from the sides, mostly when Tadic opens wide on the right side. He acts a little bit like Kaku on Alain with Laba, and Tadic searches for Benteke. I think Alain must be careful with that. I totally agree with Ibrahim. The second ball for Wahda is crucial for the attacking midfielders to come closer to Benteke and quicker to jump on the pressure and to try to win the second ball, the duel for the second ball. I think that will be important in the second half.
Terrific penalty, by the way, from Omar Kurbin, his 10th of the season. We had a little discussion, didn't we, before kick-off about a new striker coming in. How do the old strikers feel? That will really help Omar Kurbin, won't it? get over the new arrangement with Benteke coming in, that he's already got a goal, even with Benteke there?
You know, Omar is a very ambitious player, so he doesn't want to have that gap between him and Laba, obviously. So probably that's the reason he took the penalty. And a great player, he has a lot of qualities. So, and he's giving a lot for El Wahda. Benteke coming in front now, he will have less task to do, but do exactly what is required to do to make El Wahda win the games. And I feel like also in the second half, when Diarra will come in, it might be more dangerous for Al Ain, because he can go 1v1 and he has some good crosses. Yeah. And that might cost Al Ain.
Were you surprised Benteke didn't take the penalty?
No, I think it's. I don't know how they choose, because sometimes the penalty takers are already defined since the beginning of the season, and each coach has its own strategy. It's a little bit like choosing the captain. Depends. Some teams will elect, it's by votes. Some other teams, it will be appointed by the coach. It depends. In this case, the taker, usually the rule mostly in football teams is, if you are taking and you are successful, you keep taking until you fail, and then eventually if you fail, you change to the second one. And in this case, Benteke just arrived. I don't think he's in the main, in the first 3-4 takers.
Totally right, what Pedro is saying. Sometimes the coach appoint a specific person to take the penalties until the person fails. Then we can try to find another solution. But him being the captain and already second top scorer, it makes sense that he take the penalty. And
he scored the last 5 out of 5 penalties that he stepped up for. I just wonder if perhaps welcomes Benteke into Al Wahda a bit more, if he gets golden opportunity to get off the mark on his debut.
And penalties, Graham, I believe, Diaki, of course, can speak much better about this because he was a professional player, but it has a lot to do with confidence. Of course, has to do also with the technical quality. Yeah. It has a lot to do with confidence. If you feel confident, you take it. If you don't feel confident, maybe you should let someone else take. If someone else is feeling very, very confident, this is something, for example, in the penalty shootouts, this is something that needs to be managed. If a player is extremely fatigued, maybe he should not take because he's extremely tired. It has to do with lots of things, but it was a very well taken penalty.
Overall, sorry, go carry on.
No, you can go.
I was going to say, overall, as you were saying there, Al Ain started the strongest, but Al Wahda did come into the game as it wore on. Which side is going to be happier at half-time in the team?
Exactly, that's what I wanted to talk about. I saw some couple of sequences of the offensive build-up of Al Ain. It was really remarkable, the way how they start from the back into the midfield and Laba coming, give the ball, then they find on the side. They're doing that pretty well. I think if the Al Wahda need to be careful though. If they give enough space in the midfield, as I said, you will find situation where, for example, the first goal will happen. The long ball behind the defense, and the midfielder will go and try to find Laba. So they need to be careful not to give enough space to Kaku or Mohamed Abbas to close this type of space. But I see the build-up, really nice to see.
But as well as the goal that Al Ain scored, that did happen a couple of times, didn't it? But I think Al Wahda quickly adjusted after about 10 minutes?
I think it had also to do with the fact that the midfield reacted better. Especially because Al Ain is a tough team to deal with also from the tactical point of view. They play in a system that is not very usual in the ADNOC Pro League. Only Diba plays in a similar tactical system, but a completely different strategy. So Al Ain uses a lot the wing backs to attack, to stretch open wide. And every now and then, players go wide, like Kaku. He's in the middle and he goes wide. And this creates instability in the opponent. No one knows who's showing up there. While if you're playing 4-4-2 against 4-4-2, everyone knows who's showing up when. And I believe in the beginning of the match, especially the players on the Wahda side that were playing wide in the midfield, were not reacting very well and on time, and the defense was taking that overload of the offensive movements of the midfield of Al Ain. Also, Al Ain surprised me somehow with some shifts in the formation, because Traoré dropped to play as right central defender. I was not expecting him there. Niang was playing as right wing back. and Mohamed Abbas, number 8, played in the midfield. So there was some changes there. And I wonder if in the second half, this will go back to plan A, or if Kocevic will continue with plan B.
Okay, let's think about the second half then and possible changes. Are we kind of agreed we don't think Benteke is going to play the full 90 minutes? If that doesn't happen, what are the options then for Al-Wahda? Does Kribin go back into the middle? I mean, these are the changes. Let's look at the possible changes on the right side there.
Yeah, definitely with Al-Wahda, I think the coach has a lot of options. Caio Canedo, Brahima Diarra, and Ruben, in case he's doing a good result, he can put him in the back.
Well, the crosses from Ruben again.
Yes, because he has a tremendous quality with the crosses. And but one thing I would like to mention, Ratnik and Rafael, they both have yellow card. They need to be careful in the second half because this type of derbies, you know, the excitement and the aggressivity and all this can lead to a second yellow, and then it might be not favorable for one of the team. But
for Alain though, Yaya Nada, Rahimi.
I would say that both number 97 Adis Jazic, right back, and number 15 Eric will come on at minutes 60, 65, 70, because that is the usual move by Kocevic, due to the fact, as I said before, that Alain activates a lot the wing backs. So they run quite a lot back and front. So every now, mostly during the second half, at some point, usually they are replaced by, and in this case, by those two players, Nassim Chadli and also Hussein Rahimi. I think at any moment they might be brought on. Looking at that, we can see how Al-Wahda squad is great this season. Look at the options on the bench.
That's impressive. When it came up,
that's impressive.
They've quietly grown into a very deep squad, haven't they?
Good headaches for Dimash. Good headaches.
Does either side need to change any tactics going into the second half? Do they both continue to play as they did in the first half, or does either side need to tweak anything?
No, probably. I think both they will keep the same team, and to see the first 20 minutes how things will go. And I feel like Benteke, he's showing health. He's there. He's running a lot and trying to defend, try to stay in block, and also jumping, trying to hold the ball for his teammates to come around. So I see that he's doing a lot of effort, and that's what Al-Wahda needed.
We haven't talked about the other debutant shot for Alain. What did you make of him?
He's playing what I was expecting. He's doing what I was expecting him to do, to sit there in the middle and to protect the defensive line. He has not been very active offensively, but he has, in terms of his positioning, he's doing what he was expected to do, to be more stable in the middle, releasing more, in this case, Abbas and Palacios and Kako in the midfield, and protecting his defense. I don't think he's affecting the game too much in a positive way, but he's not also affecting in a negative way. It's a different player, of course, in a different position from Benteke.
But does that mean they maybe change the midfield a little bit to toughen it, to get more foot on the ball in the midfield?
I think eventually they will do some changes also in the defensive line because of what I said before, because this is a different plan from what is usual, the starting plan for
I believe more on the sides.
Of course, they are missing Rami Rabia, the leader of the back line. But for sure, I'm almost 100% sure they will replace the fullbacks at any point.
Okay, let's go back over then to the Hazza bin Zayed Stadium. The two teams are back out. Your commentator is Ian Burstall.
Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to the Hazza bin Zayed Stadium. It is the Al Clasico game week 13 in the ADNOC Pro League. Alain 1, Al-Wahda 1. Kojo Laba opening the scoring after 9 minutes. And then it was 29 minutes when Omar Kurbin struck from the penalty spot after Benteke being brought down inside the box. So all square at the moment as the second half gets underway. Al-Wahda in their change strip of all white playing from right to left. Alain in their purple playing from left to right. Sellout here tonight at the Hazza bin Zayed Stadium. The first half was riddled with errors from both teams, really. the team really getting to grips with possession. Too many unforced errors. A chance here for Dusan Tadic to swing this ball in. Benteke will be the obvious target as he floats it towards the back post. Benteke is there. Dispossessed this time by Niang. So no changes at half-time. Lets that ball go over his head. So no Soufiane Rahimi. He is still away on international duty. His brother is on the bench for Al-Ain. New signings, Adrian Soot comes straight in for his debut for the boss, as does Christian Benteke for Al-Wahda, signing from DC United a couple of weeks ago. Here is Benteke now looking for Kerbin. Just plays it in behind him. But the flag goes up for offside. So if you are just joining us, it was a scrappy first half, lots of unforced errors. Neither goalkeeper really called into action. Canadisa made one good save to his right-hand side. Apart from that, really have a great deal to do. Same for Al Shamsi. Kerbin caught there, so it will be a yellow card and a free kick to Al-Wahda. Yellow card shown towards Toure. He just gestured that perhaps the Syrian centre-forward may have gone down a little bit easy. Let you at home make your own minds up there. So it will be a free kick. Taken quickly to Omar. Flick from him in towards Ivakovic. His shot just slicing wide. Goal kick, Al-Ain. So a feature of Al-Wahda in the first half was looking to get that ball early into Benteke and then pick up the pieces around him. They didn't quite get players close enough to him. In towards Benteke now, and Issa collides with his defender and does well. Thumbs up all round. It was a lovely floated ball in towards the back post, and it was brave goalkeeping from Khaled Issa. Ratnik did well himself to get himself in between the ball and Christian Benteke, and then took the full force of his goalkeeper. And there is Kojo Laba, 14 not out for him. Just continues to score goals, of course. Last season, top goal scorer with 20, has 14 already. Excluding this season, the last 5 seasons, Laba has won the Golden Shoe 3 times out of 5. 26 goals, 21-22 when Al-Ain won the league. 28 in 22-23 and 20 last season. Ball ricochets off Omar. Here is Kerbin now. Goes down under pressure. Tackle was made by Ben Khaled. It was a little bit clumsy, but the Moroccan perhaps gets away with one there. Nervously looking over his shoulder. Ogbu. So Abdulaziz. Facundo. Had a quiet first half, the Argentinian. Quite got his radar going yet in the second half. Al-Ain top on 30 points going into this game. That ball intercepted, a chance here. In towards Laba, who's found some space. Laba shoots, and Laba does it again. Brilliant from Laba. Al-Wahda just backed off. You can't give him space. And he just lifted it over Mohamed Al-Shamsi. Poor defending, you have to say, from Al-Wahda. Ogbu, excellent in the first half. Poor pass here, brilliant interception. Then nobody gets near Laba. He's able to turn and just lifts it over Al-Shamsi. Far too easy. He still had a lot to do, the centre forward. Took it with aplomb. Majestic, magnificent. Shamsi, absolutely no chance. In the blink of an eye, Lane regained their lead. And it's come from, again, another unforced error. Laba, having not scored against Al-Wahda in 6 games, over 1,000 days, has now got 2, and there's a coming together here between Ogbu, and he's in trouble. He's in more than that. He's off, he's got red. Ogbu, who was excellent in the first half, has had 2 moments of madness. He's given the ball away. And now he's been shown a straight red. Caught in possession again. He lashes out, and there was an elbow. Mohamed Abbas has made the most of it. Reckless from Ogbu. Clement Turpin straight to his top pocket. Ogbu does not want to leave, but he's being told to. He had an excellent first half, the young centre-back. Wonderful battle between him and Kojo Laba. Just feel perhaps the moment has just got to him. He gave the ball away for the Laba goal. Mohamed Abbas, who's not the biggest, intercepted the ball here from that Ogbu pass. And then Laba just did the rest, opened his body up and whipped it over Al-Shamsi. And then here, and we're back with the live action, and Al-Wahda under even more pressure. That's a strong tackle. Facundo this time, he goes down. So no reprieve for Ogbu. He sees red in the Clásico, so Al-Wahda down to 10. And it's going to be an uphill battle now for Al-Wahda. Yang, Kaku, him and Palacios just exchanging short passes, keep the ball moving. Chance here for Ben Khalek to drive forward. They're playing with a real confidence now. Not only did they get that goal, but they have the numerical advantage now. And it's all smiles now. Alain at the top. Al-Wahda do have Rubin on the bench and Lucas. Well, sorry, no Lucas Pimenta. He's out injured. I think perhaps Rubin may be the obvious choice to come on here. That ball's whipped in and Shamsi decides to punch again. And there's a straight arm. And a free kick given. And it's Soot who collides with Omar. Nothing really in that whatsoever. But the scrappy nature of the first half has continued so far in the second. All eyes on Dimes Taxira. Will he make a change or not? A dream start for Alain. Yang just keeps the ball in play, whips it in first time. Nobody attacking it this time. Referee allows play to continue. Ratnik. Yang. Labber, of course, looking for number 3. Mohamed Abbas. Kaku. Labber looks to slide it through for Kaku, but can't find a way through. It will be a free kick. Abdullah Hamad goes to ground. Again, the ball easily intercepted. And Yang just looks to roll Abdulaziz, and again, a little bit too physical for the referee's liking. So free kick, Alain. Nearly 60 minutes gone here at the Hazza bin Zayed Stadium. Slightly wayward cross will be picked up by Facundo. Ball over the top, looking for Benteke. Yang shows his pace again and gets there just in front of the centre forward, and it was a coming together of the two players, and the referee has gone in favour of the Alain player. Benteke possibly just catching Traoré. I wonder how long Christian Benteke will last. His first game here for Al-Wahda. Scored 49 goals in 100 appearances for DC United in the MLS. The ball's pumped forward, keeper comes and gets it all wrong. Chance here for Labber. How Shamsi redeems himself. Referee's got a decision to make here. Reckless goalkeeping. In the end, he gets back quickly. Does collide with Palacios, but the referee happy to award the corner. Laba for once just not getting a clean connection. Palacios taking as long as he possibly can. Referee tells him to get a move on. It's a short one. Kaku, lovely skill from him. Chance for Ratnik. Laba. Wow, a real mess in the end. Laba just snatched at the chance. It was well worked from Alain. Laba was all on his own at the back post and opted for the volley. No movement on the Al-Wahda bench as yet. Pumped forward by Niang, looking for Laba. Easily cut out by Ikovic. Alain, of course, have that little bit more space to work with now, and keeper comes again and goes straight through the Alain player, but looks like he did just get the ball first. It's Palacios, who's been excellent at running from deep this evening. Now Shamsi had to get this right. He did just get there in front of Palacios. Excellent goalkeeping. Palacios didn't really want the challenge. Both players down receiving treatment. Here's a comparison between the two goal scorers. Four shots for Kojo Laba. Three of them on target. Kirby, just that one shot, of course, from a penalty. Tells its own story. Al-Wahda to dominate that middle of the pitch, and of course we mentioned early in the first half, as soon as they get it, they look to hit the ball long straight to Benteke and then feed off his bits and pieces. It just hasn't quite worked. Alain favouring that left-hand side. So both players back on their feet. Battle going on there between Abdulaziz and Omar. Looking for Laba. The referee does have to bring the game to a halt. It looks like Rafa's stayed down, holding that right knee of his. Just a collision there. Colliding with Abdullah Hamed. There is some movement down on the Al-Wahda bench. This is how it all started. Palacios breaking the offside trap, slide the ball across. It was almost in slow motion. Everybody stood still expecting the flag to go up. It didn't. And Laba pounced at the back post, made it 1-0. Number 14 for him. And And Kerbin, after 29 minutes, after Benteke's shirt being pulled inside the box, penalty given, all square going into half-time. And then that misplaced pass straight into Laba. Everyone just stood off of him and he did the rest. Wonderful angle there, lifting it over Al Shamsi. So it looks as though Benteke has come off. And he's been replaced by Mohamed Ghorbani. Shots from number 9, Kojo Laba. 15 goals for him so far this season. And Diarra has made his way on as well. Just waiting for confirmation of those substitutions. But Benteke's debut has finished. So Diarra on for Benteke. Promising start. Former Belgian international. And Mohamed Ghorbani is on in place of Guga. A double substitution for Al-Wadda. Abdulaziz wants to slide it down this left-hand channel. It looks like Al-Wadda going 4-3-2 with Omar Facundo leading the line. There's confirmation of those substitutions. Brahimi, Diarra on, Guga off. Facundo Krupinski looking to score against Alain for the 3rd game in a row. What a quiet game here so far. Here come Al-Wadda. Omar looks to slide it through. Chance here for Omar. What a finish! Brilliantly worked from Al-Wadda. We're all square again. Wonderful pass from Tadic. .11 for him. The 10 men of Al-Wadda. It's a brilliant run here. But then the reverse pass. Could Issa have done better? The power. Too much for Khalid Issa. Wonderful technique. Burst through the hands of the Alain shot stopper. And after 69 minutes, we are back all square. 2 for Laba, 2 for Omar Kerbin. Nothing can separate these two teams. And it's going to be Eric Jorgens. He replaces Rafa Rodriguez. And on the bench for the last 4 games in a row. Eric Jorgens, of course, coming back from that injury. The last start was back in the 25th of September. It was also the same game that Young Park damaged his knee. So Eric Jorgens back on. Confirmation of that earlier substitution, Benteke making way for Mohamed Kourbani. And Eric Jorgens on. Rafa off, so Jorgens will give a real presence on that left-hand side. He'll try and get as forward as much as he possibly can. Yang also off. He's replaced by Hossan Rahimi. So will be a real focal point for Alain, and Kaku goes down under that pressure. So all change for Alain here as Jabson picks up a yellow card. It was a nasty tackle. And Brazilian on another. Lucky really to escape with just a yellow card. Here's Traore. If you are just joining us, Al-Wahda down to 10. Favour Ogbu sent off for an elbow. Al-Wahda have fought back and they've equalised. A wonderful strike from Omar Kurbin. Just too powerful for Khalid Issa. Laba forced out wide. Diarra in hot pursuit. Shot from distance, but unable to trouble Al Shamsi. So 72 minutes gone here at Hazza bin Zayed Stadium. It was ambitious, this from Soot. His first game for Alain. He's looked tidy in the midfield. Shamsi goes as long as possible. Not happy with that challenge, and Facundo, and there's a little bit of afters going on here, and it's just getting a little bit silly out there, and it's still going. Facundo not happy about the initial challenge here, but then seemed to run into Kaku, and then wow, lent his head in, and the referee has shown another red card. And again, he's only got himself to blame. Now, what a player, furious. Alain potentially down. Potentially down to 9 players. Facundo has been shown red. Omar Kurbin pleading his case. A hero turned villain. He got the free kick here. There was a slight collision, nothing more really, maybe a little bit from Kaku. Suddenly he's up and then leans his head in. Stupid from the Argentinian. The referee gets it right again. Jabson can't believe it, but he has to go. previous 2 games against Elaine, Facundo Krapinski has scored goals. Tonight, a moment of madness. He receives a red card. Al-Wada down to 9. Ball whipped in. Issa stays at home, flicked on, and brilliant save from Khaled Issa. For a second, I thought he made the wrong decision. Thought about coming, he stayed. It was a lovely flick on from the substitute. But Issa, right place at the right time. Tadic and Corbin in deep conversation here. The referee wants them to get a move on. Al-Wada will try and waste as much time as they possibly can. 13 minutes remaining of normal time. Only committed 4 forward here. Al-Wada, they will get another chance though. Adrian Sook just saying the ball had gone out of play, but Clement Turpin had other ideas, so Tadic will have another go in towards the back post. Al-Ain will look to counter, but will be cut out, and then the Al-Ain player just tripped up, but referee waves play on. Towards Lapa. Lapa skips over the challenge, does exceptionally well. Could have easily gone down, decided to stay on his feet, and well, you feel perhaps he's been unfairly treated there, Kojo Lapa. Could have easily gone down under that challenge, but decided to try and stay on his feet. And in the end, gets nothing from it. That save from Khaled Issa. So agile. Exceptionally well to throw up that left hand. So can Al-Wada hang on? Down to 9 men. Eric. He's bundled into the touchline, and the referee over again to have a word with the Al-Wada player. Here's Abdulaziz. He's going to have a... In fact, it's Abdullah Hamed, and it's naughty again from the Al-Wada player. They need to be careful. Al-Ain, of course, have that numerical advantage. They just need to play sensibly here. Tadic and Menkalik just getting mixed up. Here's Mohamed Abbas. Ball whipped in and turned behind. Corner Al-Ain inside the last 10 minutes. Two for Laba, 2 for Omar Kurbin, 2 red cards for Al-Wada. That ball's whipped in, cleared only as far as Abbas. towards the back post. Omar comes away with, just pumps the ball forward, just looking to get the ball as far forward as he possibly can. That's a strong tackle from Jabson. Referee not happy. Free kick, Alain. Soot feeling the full force of the Brazilian. Alain, take it quickly. Chance here for Kaku. Now Shamsi doesn't get that cleared. And then fans will expect a goal. Palacios. Alain want the corner. They don't get it. Al-Wada fighting for everything now. Just ricocheting off the left back. Good decision again from the referee. And there's going to be another double substitution made very quickly as well. It is Yaya Nada. Soot and Abbas off for Alain. Nada on. Kerbin up against Nada. Just runs out of pitch. So Soot's debut comes to an end. Nassim Chadli on also. He takes Mohamed Abbas's place. There is Chadli. Palacios into Laba. Laba just goes down under pressure. Alain feel there was a push. Laba feels he was pushed. It's that man there, Abdullah Hamid again. Was there a push in his back? It looked as though from that angle. Just there. Well, there was contact, but how much? Not enough in the eyes of the referee. Abdullah Hamid, now Wada living dangerously. He may have got away with one there. Alain fans, it's a definite penalty. Al-Wada, absolutely not. Here's Eric. Bundled to the ground, nothing given, and it's that man again. He's proving a very unpopular figure for those Alain fans. Abdullah Hamid. Joe Labo just explained to the referee he felt there was a push in his back. There certainly was contact. Whether it was enough for the centre forward to go down is a different story. Referee didn't feel the push warranted anything more. It looks like Caio Canedo is getting ready to come on. Here's the goal that started it all off. Kojo Laba after 9 minutes. Palacios breaking that offside trap, sliding it across, and Laba doing the rest. Number 14 for him. And Omar Kerbin, after 29 minutes, wins the game back 1-1 after Benteke was fouled in the box. A wonderful bit of skill from Laba just to lift the ball over Al Shamsi to make it 2-1. And Omar Kerbin just too powerful for Khalid Issa. But what a back all square. in amongst all that, there were 2 red cards as well, both for Al-Wahda. So 5 minutes of normal time remaining. Is there another twist? Laba. Kaku slides the ball through and just took the wrong option, you feel. Players around him screaming for it. Went for the most difficult option. Toure. There's room on this right-hand side. Al-Wahda just have to sit in deep. Try and run the clock down as much as they possibly can. We feel there'll be a considerable amount of time to be added on here. Eric goes aerial quickly. And Rahimi unable to get it on target. His first real involvement since coming on, he's been quiet, the Moroccan. And Tadic's night is done. He's going to be replaced by Caio Canado. So Tadic off, Canedo on. And he is in absolutely no rush to leave the field. He'll be shaking hands with everybody. So the ex-LA man getting ready to come on. 96 appearances, 27 goals, 12 assists for the boss, now with Al-Wahda. Of course, had a long spell with Al-Wassel as well. 2 minutes of normal time. All eyes will be on the 4th official. Palacios. Lane dominating ball possession as expected. A little pull back there. Referee allows play to continue. Chadley tries to go around the outside and wins a corner. Excellent work from the substitute. Abdelaziz felt it should have been a goal kick, but the assistant referee thought otherwise. All Al-Wahda players inside their 18-yard box. Kaku. Jorgens, his shot charged down. Nada picks up the loose ball. Only Khalid Issa inside his own half. He lifts it forward. Nada looks to slide it through. Chance here for Toure. And the flag has gone up for offside. There's some frustration creeping around the Hazza bin Zayed Stadium. Fans feel they Al-Ain haven't done enough. Both teams were poor in the first half. And now Al-Ain unable to break down the 9 men of Al-Wahda. There's going to be 6 minutes of additional time. Vladimir, the mixed team. There's going to be another substitution for Al-Wahda. Going to be number 9, Reza, getting ready to come on. Al-Wahda feel maybe, could they nick this? Here's Omar, chance into the box, goes down under pressure. Referee says no penalty. He can't believe it. Referee was convinced. Ben Kellick is leaning on him to get the wrong side of the centre forward. Chadley drills it across Laba. Just couldn't get on the end of it. Chadley can't find a way through. He's looked good, the Moroccan, since he's come on. Ball whipped into the near post. Jorgens lays it off. Chance here for Palacios. Alain knocking on the door now. And then a clumsy tackle. And really, again, another example of ill discipline from Alain. Kayo not going anywhere. And Rahimi just bundles him to the ground. It's going to be Reza. He comes on for the captain, Omar. And Khaled just showing him where to go. Two goals for Omar Kherbin. Brilliant return from him. Reza Gandapour on. So we've had 2.5 minutes of the 6. This will feel like a victory for Al Wahda if they can hold on. Neither team really have done enough to win and get the 3 points. Questions will be asked of Alain. If they don't get the 3 points, unable to break down the 9 men of Al Wahda. They've looked sloppy at times, as have Al Wahda. Too many unforced errors. Chadley to Nada. Palacios clips the ball in, but again too far, and sums up Alain's night really. The box was loaded. Unable to find a purple shirt. Wahda play Dibba next on the 27th of January. Alain go to Kauba. Abdullah Ahmed has gone down with some cramp. Ogbu was sent off after 54 minutes. And Fagundo after 75. Done exceptionally well, Al Wahda, to stay in this game. They're trying every trick in the book now, just to run the clock down. Nearly 5 minutes of that 6 gone. I feel the referee will add some more time on. Ratnik onto Kaku, out to Palacios. 4 Alain players in the box, lifted away towards Laba. Time running out now. Towards Laba, and can't get a full connection on it. Goal kick. Did well to get away from his marker. The ball was just slightly behind him. And Al Shamsi now in danger of go into the referee's book as he takes as long as he possibly can. So if it stays as it is, sorry, Al-Ain will stay top on 31. Al-Wahda will stay fourth with, sorry, they'll move into third with 26. Angelic again, clumsy from the centre-back. And gets away with it. Al-Ain driving forward now. 6 minutes has gone. Chadley lifts it in towards Labra at the back post, but too long. And his expression sums up the evening, really. Disappointment. His team have been poor. Haven't made the numerical advantage count. Al-Wahda have fought hard. All eyes on Clement Turpin. There it is, it's all over. The Classico finishes 2-2. Two from Labba, two from Kerbin. And two red cards amongst it all. It was a hugely entertaining game. Both teams had chances. Al-Ain just didn't do enough. They'll feel disappointed. Al-Wahda will take this as a win. They fought hard after those two red cards. Al-Ain just weren't good enough on the night to dominate. It was sloppy at times from both teams. And you can see Ivic there, disappointed. Both teams felt that they've dropped points, but they have got a point out of it. And it has finished the Classico. Al-Ain 2, Al-Wahda 2. 2 from Kojo Labba, 2 from Omar Kerbin. I've been Ian Burstow. I hope you've enjoyed our coverage. And we shall see you next time. Good night. Mas salama.
Thank you very much, Ian Burstow. Yeah, it didn't disappoint, did it? The Abu Dhabi derby, El Clasico, as they call it, 2-2. It finishes then between Al-Ain and Al-Wahda. It started so well for Al-Ain inside the first 10 minutes. Labba with one of the most straightforward goals he'll ever score, getting his 14th of the season at the time. And it looked like they were already on their way. 20 minutes later, though, new signing Christian Benteke earning a penalty on his debut for Al-Wahda. And up stepped Omar Kerbin in the 29th minute to get his 10th of the season and draw Al-Wahda level. But then in the second half, it was Labra again. A mistake at the back from Al-Wahda, allowing the 15th goal of the season for Labba, and what a peach it was. What a finish from Kojo Labba to put Al-Ain back in charge again. There was other things that Al-Wahda were worrying about as well. Ogbu getting a red card for that challenge, an outstretched arm. But it didn't seem to stop the power of Omar Kerbin, getting his second of the game, his 11th now of the season. And the Kerbin and Labba show ended 2-2, but that wasn't all the drama we had on the night. Overflowing with too much there from Facundo Krupski, a straight red card for the Argentinian, which left Al-Wahda down to 9 men for, well, 17 minutes of the game. But they did hang on and they got a point out of it. So this is the table now. Al Ain stay top just with that 1 point from a draw with Al Wahda on 31, Al Wahda on 26. So the difference between those two teams is exactly the same, 5 points. But Shabab Al Ahli, they could go top if they win on Monday night. Terrific stuff, terrific game, terrific entertainment. Let's start with you, Ibrahim. What's your first reaction to that dramatic Classico?
Yeah, what a terrific game, and a bit dramatic with the 2 red cards. But I really enjoyed it. It was really entertaining, and from the beginning till the end. But I saw today in Al Wahda was very, very organized. But beside the 2 mistakes from the defenders, but it was a great game. And 2-2, I was kind of expecting that result, because I know that Al Wahda, they went to Al Ain to win that game. They didn't go there to be afraid or scared. Even they were well organized. They were looking for that goal. And I mean, I would say that it was the show of Laba and Krebin.
I remember there for the last 15, 16, 17 minutes or so, it was 9 players against the league leaders. And that now means that Al Wahda are currently in their 5th season that they haven't been beaten in the league at the Hazza bin Zayed Stadium. Remarkable achievement for Al Wahda. And you thought perhaps when Laba got his 2nd and then Ogbu goes off, that's it. Points are, you know, in the bag for Al Ain, but no such thing.
In the ADNOC Pro League, everything and anything can happen. Yeah. So it's never done until it's done. I say that a lot during commentary, and I say it here because it's true. It was as good as expected in terms of entertainment. It was exciting, it was thrilling, it was more than a bit dramatic. I say it was very dramatic, really. But at the same time, the events were not as expected. As you said, being reduced to 9 men and managing to get a draw at the Hazza bin Zayed against this Al Ain, it's an amazing achievement for Wahda. It's just 1 point. Mathematically, it's just 1 point. They are still 5 points behind. And now, if Shabab Al Ahli wins, they will be 6 points behind the leaders. But I think psychologically is a great balm for Wahda to keep fighting. And because, again, this is the ADNOC Pro League, so teams can drop points at any moment.
OK, for the first time then, let's cross over to the Hazza bin Zayed Stadium. Amy Gillingham is there for us, of course, with some reaction. Amy, who have you got for us, first of all, at the Hazza bin Zayed Stadium? Looks like you've got Laba.
Thanks, Graham. I mean, we did say there was going to be plenty of drama here tonight, and wow, boy, did we have some drama. Laba, first of all, terrific goals here tonight. Perhaps a disappointing result for Al Ain, but a point is a point.
Yes, we are disappointed because we should win this game. And especially when they get the second red card. We have the possession, but we make one more mistake and they score the second goal. And I think we have... we lose confidence and we are rushed to score the 3rd goal. But this is football. We will keep going and stay, especially positive. Stay positive, stay together, and keep going.
You're still top of the table. Do you feel confident going into the second half of the season?
Yeah, until now we did very good first round, and we must focus and get our confidence back to continue in the same way, to fight, to achieve our target. This is the most important. In the end, we will see. But I hope and I have confidence in my teammate we can do it.
Now, in that second half, we really felt the intensity of the game. What was the turning point for you?
Yeah, all the team now improved a lot. So we know every game which will be like final. We must prepare ourselves and our mindset strong to face every game like final. And I have confidence on my teammate we can do it.
Well, we wish you all the best for the rest of the season, Laba. It's always great to see you scoring. And a point is a point, so keep your head up.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Back to you, Graham.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Amy. We'll get back over to you as soon as we possibly can. For Laba, that was his 15th goal of the season. He's done that in 5 out of 7 seasons in the ADNOC Pro League. He's got at least 15 goals. Remarkable record he has playing football in the UAE. Before I come back to you for more reaction, we are going to go straight back to Amy. We have our new man on the block, the new superstar, Benteke, with Amy.
Benteke, a wonderful performance here tonight, a really good point in a huge game, and of course your debut match.
Yeah, I think it's a big point for us. We saw the scenario of the game, 9 men against 11 against a good team. It's not easy, but I think we show resilience, we show character, and yeah, we can take this point and move on.
Of course, it's your first game with Al-Wahda. What's your first game impressions?
I'm really happy. I'm really excited for this new challenge, and I'm really pleased with the level of the game, with the performance of our team, and I think I can myself build up my fitness, and I can build up also and get to know my new teammates.
Well, you could already see the link-up play with yourself and Omar Kurbin. What are your thoughts in terms of the team that you've joined, the players that are there, and of course the loyal fans that were out loud and proud here tonight?
Wow, it's a really great experience, and I heard a lot of good things about the club, about the fans, and I saw it today. It was a really great atmosphere. And concerning my teammates, it's really nice to get to know them and to link up on the field. And I'm sure in the coming weeks it will be even better. And
did it remind you of a Merseyside derby?
Yeah, that's why we play these beautiful games, because I think we get fed by the adrenaline of big games and by our amazing fans.
Well, it's brilliant to have you here in the ADNOC Pro League, and we look forward to seeing what you can bring. Good luck for the rest of the season. Thanks so much. Thank you. Back to you, Graham.
Thanks very much, Amy. I knew she'd get a Merseyside question in there as well. Great interview, by the way. He does look happy and relaxed already, doesn't he? Clearly enjoying his new surroundings and teammates, and maybe a bit surprised at the level and the intensity of the match tonight.
Definitely, it was a great introduction to the UAE Pro League in general. I could not think about a better circumstance, and a electrifying match. I think also, and Amy and Benteke mentioned the fans, and it's also fair to mention that the atmosphere at the stadium also helped out to build up for a match like this. Because it affects the game, affects the players, affects everyone, and I think it's a great way to start for Benteke, and we could see the effect on Wahda.
I was talking about his fitness there, Ibrahim, which he will build up over the next few weeks. But as a debut, you thought he did really well.
Yeah, I'm really impressed with the first game that he did there, because it's not easy joining a new team. Like you need to adapt. It's a different league than MLS, so I think he did a great performance. And he say one thing that is important, and he say they show resilience and character. That's what they did exactly. The one point that they took in Al-Ain is very, very important for them, because it will put that suspense there also for the league. We don't know now who will be the champion of this season, but they show resilience and character, and that's what exactly happened.
Well, let's take a look at the 2 goals in the second half then in a bit more detail. It kind of followed a similar pattern, apart from the red cards, it followed a similar pattern, didn't it, in the second half. It took about 6 or 7 minutes for Laba to get his second of the game just after the restart. What a finish that is, by the way, from a standing start as well to just perfectly flight it over the goalkeeper.
You know, Graham, as I say, from the first goal when he scored, a striker like Laba, if you give him time and space, he will make the difference. But this particular goal, you can see he understands, he knows, because he make a great control first of all, and he look at the position of the goalkeeper, then he can make a slight chip in the back of the goalkeeper. I mean, he's Laba. I'm not surprised at all. That's why he has a 15 goal in the league. And first, actually, he did a great game, by the way, because he was participating in the game, coming into the midfield, try to play and then go back in front to finish the goal.
By the way, they came from a mistake. What a way to punish a mistake at the back from Al-Wahda, from Ogbu. But then Omar Kurbin, anything you can do, Laba, Kurbin can do just as well. And he scored a pretty good goal himself there to get them back on level terms.
They had their own particular duel tonight, definitely. Also, Omar Kurbin. Getting back to Alain's goal, the two players were involved in what could have been the decider when Mohamed Abbas stole the ball, and then Ogbu made the wrong passing. Here
we are. Here's the
Ogbu with the
mistake.
pass, and Mohamed Abbas steals the ball away, and soon after it would be a challenge between both of them that would get Ogbu sent off. Not taking any credits to Alain, but it's a collective mistake. More than I see this more than an individual mistake by Wahda, is a collective mistake because they were building up, they were starting the transition, and they slept a little bit. And of course, credits on Alain. They were smart and they stole the ball away. As for Wahda's goal, it's a trademark move by Omar Khrabin. It's also a way for him to introduce himself to the new teammates. You do that, I can do this, and this is a typical movement.
Well, I was going to say the reason he was in that position is because Benteke went off and he could come inside a bit more, and he reminded everyone what he can do when he can come inside a bit.
Yeah, we spoke about it. Benteke actually was fighting to control the ball to allow the midfielder to come, but we know already before how they used to play, Tadic, Facundo, but the fact that Diarra came in the second half, he put that punch in the front line of El Wahda, and I was expecting that actually. Besides, as I say, the two red card is bad that it killed a bit the vibe of the game, but as I say, the way how I saw El Wahda, the way how the fighting spirit is, since the beginning of the league, I was not surprised for that result.
I think as well, with Benteke starting, it was a bit more wide and the crosses were coming in. As soon as he went off, they went back to the play that has served them well this season as well. It shows that Wahda are expanding and have more options now, that they can play different ways.
Definitely, definitely. And Alain struggled with that because they were facing two sides of the same coin in just one match. A target man, a physical presence in the box with Benteke, and then off Benteke, and again Wahda back to the mobility, versatility, Omar Harbin running the channels, Tadic roaming a little bit all over the place. It's very hard to stop Al Wahda's attacking line, now even more with Benteke. I think he will be even more useful in the matches against lower blocks. Against teams in a lower block, I think he will be even more useful than in these matches, because in these matches, usually we have space. There's space to explore. Against lower blocks, it's harder for a team like Wahda or Shabab Al Ahly or Alain to play, and they need this type of striker.
Obviously, we're talking about both teams have a point. Alain are still, as we stand, on top of the league, but most certainly, we saw a little clip of Vladimir Ivic as near the final whistle. He looked unhappy, to say the least. So Al Wahda are going to be much happier going home, aren't they?
You know, we spoke about the bragging right.
Yeah.
So you can not only coach Ivic, I think the fans, they were expecting to win that game, especially in Alain field, in Aza. If you remember, I told you that, I said that the last 3 games that El Wahda played in Aza, they won them. So it was important for Alain to get back at least that win. So I can understand Coach Ivic, the disappointment that he's having, because he was really expecting, especially when you have 2 players less. I mean, El Wahda had 2 players less. For him, it should have been easier to win that game.
I was going to say, you're top of the league and you're leading the game, and they've got 9 men against you. He'll be really quite furious that they haven't seen that game out and got 3 points.
But it's against a very strong side. I understand from both perspectives, but also Alain must not forget what they have done up until now. I mean, it's not good to drop 2 points home against a team reduced to 9 men, but that team is Wahda. So and let's not forget the third element in the room, because after this round we might have a new leader. If Shabab Al Ahly wins against Diba, and it's very likely. Well, again, we don't know in the Anak Pro League, we never know, but it's very likely we might have a new leader, and how much that will affect Alain's psychological factor.
Well, on the other side of it, you think of Dimas Teixeira now. He hasn't lost against big teams since he's taken over. He will be disheartened that discipline issues have nearly scuppered the chances of Al Wahda getting anything out of tonight's game. But he is, if he's not the permanent head coach, it's a bit murky, we don't really know. But he's making a good case for himself to take on the job at Al Wahda permanently, isn't he?
Yeah, definitely. Since Moraes left, I think he could keep that discipline that Al Wahda always had. So I think he did a great result. Honestly, 2-2 in Al-Ain, and especially at the stage of the league right now, having that result there is very, very good. And from Ivic's side, I could feel the disappointment. It's not easy, because you know that you were almost there to get the 3 points. But at the same time, as Benteke said, the resilience and the character. They showed it from the beginning of the game till the end. And that was the result. And but I can say one thing, the way how I saw they play today, if they really are, can put together the qualities, the connection, the understanding, they understand each other, there might be a big problem in the league.
And Pedro, in terms of the league itself, we've got a real title race now, haven't we?
Yeah, with at least two involved, plus Wahda, plus Wassel. Wassel won today, so Wassel and Wahda are still in the mix, but it's mostly now head-to-head between Shabab Al Ahly and Al-Ain. But let's see what happens. The return of injured players like Sardar at Shabab Al Ahly, the return of Soufiane Rahimi at Al-Ain, the return of the players who were absent tonight at Al Wahda, Lucas Pimenta and Al Zuhair. All these returns. Rami Rabia is also an important absence from Al-Ain's backline. With all these players returning back to the competition in their best shape, I think we'll have an amazing second half of the league. Yeah.
Okay, let's just have a look then at the results, confirm the results from today. We know, obviously, in the El Clasico, it finished 2-2 between Al-Ain and Al Wahda. But we also had a couple of more games earlier in the afternoon. Al Wassel with a late winner at home to beat Al Jazeera. Al Wassel really needed those 3 points. They will be very happy with that. And Corfican and Al Nasser early in the day finished goalless, and 2-2, as we say, between Al-Ain and Al Wahda. Still to come tomorrow, Banias at home against Al Batay, the bottom two teams going head-to-head. That is crucial for both of those sides to try and get something out of there. 3 points much needed by either. And Sharjah, the Super Cup champions, but their league form has not been great at all. They need 3 points. They are at home against mid-table Kalba. And then on Monday, Ajman are at home against Al Dafra. But if there's one team that's happier than Al Wahda tonight, it's probably Shabab Al Ahly. If they win against Dibba, they will be the Adnot Pro League leaders on Monday night. So a big game for the defending league champions. This is the table as things stand now then. Al-Ain on 31 points. They do still lead by 2 points. Shabab Al Ahly, of course, have that game on Monday. Al Wahda stay third. Al Wassel in fourth after that 1-0 win. Al Jazeera fifth. Nasser and Kalba rounding out the top of the league table. And then we go down to the bottom of the league table, and it's Al Dafra, Ajman, Corfican, Sharjah, as you see. Still such a surprise to see them down there after 12 games of the season. They need 3 points. Dibba just above the relegation zone on goal difference, but Al Batay and Banias, who go head-to-head tomorrow, occupying the bottom two spots. Relegation certainly is going to be another big battle. It's going to go right to the end of the season. Nobody's being left cut adrift, so it could be anyone, really, from those bottom 4 or 5, really, that could still face the drop. Okay, thank you very much to Ibrahim.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, of course, to Pedro as well. And, of course, don't forget, we will have final score for you where we will be rounding up every goal from the Adnot Pro League match week, assessing this game again and all the others on Wednesday right here on Abu Dhabi Sports. Thank you, of course, to Amy Gillingham at the Hazard bin Zayed Stadium. And thank you for watching from everybody here at Abu Dhabi Sports. Good night.